thank Gordon and Jessica for allowing me to speak on such a special occasion. For those of you that didn't know, Gordon and Jessica had never met before their first date. It was a blind date, and when Gordon was telling me about the next night, he said things had gone extremely well, and he could tell within just a few minutes that there was great potential between them. We're here tonight to celebrate and embrace the fruition of this potential, and I couldn't be happier for both of them. I know how much Gordon and Jessica have put into this night, so I'd like to thank everyone, including the bridesmaids, for all their diligent planning and hard work in making this night to remember. I first really got to know Gordon when we shared a dorm room at the University of Waterloo. For those of you who think of Gordon as a mature and organized individual, I'd like to tell you how he moved in the first day. I personally packed all my belongings in boxes and suitcases in a somewhat organized fashion. Gordon's solution to the moving problem was garbage bags. He packed all his worldly belongings in garbage bags. He followed this up by taking my computer chair and using it as a scooter to fly down the dorm room hall as fast as he possibly could. Upon passing our room, he screamed out to scare us and nearly gave my poor mother a heart attack. I like to think that I've helped Gordon in a few ways improve since we first met. The first of these came the first time we went to Hardee's together. After ordering the standard burger and fries, we were asked what toppings we'd like on our hamburgers. I made the only reasonable response by saying, just ketchup. At this point, Gordon turned to me and looked at me with a fair amount of awe. For you see, he'd been ordering multiple toppings on his hamburger his entire life just so he wouldn't get embarrassed. To this day, he is able to order a hamburger with only ketchup and not be embarrassed knowing that there's someone else. On another occasion, I was walking around the bay with Gordon waiting for some friends to finish shopping. We were so engrossed in a no doubt nerdy conversation that we failed to take into account where we were walking. Upon hitting a dead end, we both looked at each other in alarm, having realized that we'd walked into the middle of the women's lingerie section with all the salespeople staring at us. Gordon will never again walk in the mall unattended. Shortly after we moved into university together, we realized we had a lot in common and proceeded to compete at every game and sport we could think of. For those of you who played anything against Gordon, you know that to say he's competitive is an understatement. This, however, has gotten him in trouble in the past. For instance, we once lived in a basement where the ceilings were only 2 inches higher than our heads. Kaylee, his sister, came to visit one weekend and made a tally board for the number of times we hit our heads. Now to Gordon, this just screamed of competition. And let me tell you, he absolutely destroyed my high score. I don't think he fully thought through the goals of that game. In another instance, Gordon challenged Brian Baribeau, this gentleman right over here, to a drinking competition. Now, Brian is a man that can hold his liquor, and Gordon is not. 7 beers into the competition, Brian doesn't even have a buzz, and Gordon is so drunk that he still thinks he has a chance. 2 years later, everyone at the party is telling Gordon he should stop, but oh no, not Gordon. He still thinks he can win. Thankfully, a few minutes later, he stumbled towards the bathroom, leaving the door open, and produced the loudest vomiting any of us had ever heard. Brian was just left wondering if he could still get drunk even though the game was over. Finally, in ultimate frisbee, a non-contact sport, Gordon managed to lose 2 of his teeth. And not just any 2, his most prominent front 2. I honestly could not look at him in the face for the next 6 months. It was just too painful. This is right around the time that Gordon and Jessica had gotten together, and when I realized this didn't even faze Jessica, and in fact she could still look at him, I knew we had to keep her. I know that Jessica likes to keep herself busy with exercise and projects, and honestly, I think she's hit the jackpot here, because it's going to be a lifelong endeavor to keep Gordon from doing stupid things. I do have to say, though, that the one thing they both managed to do well is keep each other happy, and for this reason alone, I know that the ultimate partnership they're entering will make their lives and the lives of those around them richer and more rewarding. Thank you.
Wow.